Paris, French, Paris, formerly called Breach by the Arabs, is the capital of France and its largest city in terms of population. It is located on the banks of the Seine River in the northern part of the country in the heart of the Île-de-France region. Administrative only, while the population of the city and its suburbs exceeds 12 million people. Paris remained a highly important region for over 2,000 years, and by the turn of the 12th century, Paris had become a European center of finance, diplomacy, trade, fashion, science, and the arts, and the largest city in the Western world until the early 18th century. Paris has been the scene of many important political events throughout history, such as the French Revolution. Nowadays, it is one of the largest economic and cultural centers with an important influence in politics, science, entertainment, media, fashion, and the arts, making it one of the world's major cities. In 2011, the city's GDP was €607 billion, $845 billion, one of the largest in the world. It is also home to most French companies. Paris is a leading tourist destination in the world and has a variety of museums, theaters, and monuments built over the centuries, such as the Eiffel Tower, Arc de Triomphe, Louvre Museum, and the Palace of Versailles. Paris is one of the largest art centers in the world, as it contains a large number of museums that contain paintings by the most prominent international artists. The city's cuisine also has an international reputation, attracting the most famous chefs in the world. Paris and its suburbs include the finest French schools and universities, and also contain the headquarters of the largest French newspapers, such as Le Monde, Le Figaro, and Libération. Paris is the headquarters of the Paris Saint-Germain Sports Club, and there is also the Stade de France, which was built to host the 1998 FIFA World Cup. The city hosts the Roland Garros tennis tournament annually. Paris is distinguished by the diversity and quality of transportation. The city includes two main international airports, Charles de Gaulle International Airport and Orly. The Paris Metro, which opened in 1900, carries about 9 million passengers daily. Etymology. The name Paris is derived from its first inhabitants, who were one of the Gallic tribes and were known as the Parisians. The city was named Lutetia during the Roman era, in the period between the 1st century and the 4th century AD. However, it was called Paris again during the reign of Julian the Apostate, 360 to 363. The name Parisi is believed to come from the Gaelic Celtic word bariso, which means working people or artisans. The Morisco traveler Ahmed bin Qasim al-Hajri described it in al-Shihab's journey to meet the loved ones, and mentioned its name in Arabic as Briche. Paris is the home of the Frankish Sultanate, and there are about 3 days between it and the city of Rouen. Its length is 5,500 paces, and its width is 4,500 paces. Its houses are high, and all of them are full of people. The homes of the grades are built of sandblasted stone, but with time the color of the stone darkens. The Christians say that the greatest cities of the world is Constantinople, then the city of Breche, then the city of Ashbon, Lisbon, in Andalusia. Paris. Paris has many nicknames, as it is known as the city of love and the capital of fashion, but the most famous nickname for the city is the City of Light, La Ville Lumière, which is the title that Paris obtained due to its fame as a center of science and thought during the Age of Enlightenment, as well as because of its early reliance on a street lighting system. Paris was known as the City of Light in the second half of the 19th century, when Baron Haussmann, appointed by Napoleon III, eliminated medieval streets and neighborhoods and transformed Paris into a modern city. The first archaeological signs of permanent settlements date back to the period between 4500 to 4200 BC. Evidence of the oldest of its kind was found in Paris in 1991 on the use of boats by these primitive peoples. The Carnavalier Museum contains the remains of 3 of these ancient boats. The Parisian tribe, one of the Gallic tribes, inhabited the area on the banks of the Seine River in approximately 250 BC. The Romans invaded Paris in approximately 52 BC and settled there at the end of the same century. The city was named Lutetia during the reign of the Roman Empire, then its name was changed to Lutiz. The city expanded greatly over the following centuries to become a thriving metropolis containing palaces, baths, temples, and theaters. The collapse of the Roman Empire, combined with the Germanic invasions in the 5th century AD, significantly reduced the city's importance. By the year 400, Leotis had been abandoned by many of its inhabitants, and its importance had diminished. The city regained the name Paris around 360 at the end of the era of Roman occupation, when Julian the Apostate was declared emperor. This announcement was made on the Ile de la site, an island located in the Seine River. Julian resided in this area for 3 years, making Paris the de facto capital of the Western Empire. Clovis I, the first king of the Merovingian dynasty. The Paris region was under Frankish control in the late 5th century. The Frankish king Clovis I, the first king of the Merovingian dynasty, made Paris the capital of his country in 508 and converted the city's inhabitants to Christianity once again. The kings of the Carolingian dynasty made the city of Aachen, located in present-day Germany, the capital of the country instead of Paris, and that was in the late 8th century AD. This coincided with the start of the Viking invasions in the early 9th century. One of the most notable Viking raids occurred on March 28, 845, when 200 Scandinavian ships along the Seine River invaded Paris. They robbed and plundered the city, and did not leave until they had received a large sum of money provided to them by the crown prince. The city was repeatedly invaded, forcing Eudes, Count of Paris, to build a fortress on the Ile de la site in 885. However, the city suffered a severe siege that lasted more than a year, and eventually ended during the reign of the Carolingian King Charles the Fat. The French crown experienced a state of conflict and turmoil after Eudes declared himself ruler.